The Idaho Republican Party presidential caucus. That's coming up in just about 2 weeks, on March 2nd, on a Saturday. The rules for how it will be run, well, they've been on the books and finalized since January. But this week, 2 sentences from those rules have garnered a lot of attention. From Section 9, only eligible voters and their minor children shall be admitted to the caucus. No other guests will be permitted, meaning members of the media who are not eligible as registered Republicans, they're not going to be allowed to attend and observe in the caucus in any of their 210 locations. Capital Sun first brought this up yesterday, but members of the media won't even be able to watch while they count the ballots. So the question is why? Since this wasn't how it was handled last time the GOP held a presidential caucus. All anyone has to be told by those who run the party, well, those are the rules. That's why. But it's our job as journalists to ask those questions and try to get some, well, at least try to get some of those answers. So, to get some clarification as to why this was the rule, we headed down to GOP headquarters in Boise. And we thought we might get some answers because, see that woman who appears to be on the phone in the background? That's Chairwoman Dorothy Moon. Hi there. But when we got inside, we were told
she's headed out the door, so she's not available.
Even for just like quick 5 minutes or less than that?
Yeah, I know that Kira said they were headed out.
It was about that time we got this email from the state party rules chairman, Brent Regan, who wanted to address what he called misinformation being generated by the media about the media being shut out from the caucus. So we called him.
Regan Design, this is Brent.
Hi, Brent. This is Brian Holmes with Channel 7 in Boise, hoping he could help us understand the rules.
All right. Well, what do you need to know?
And why? Main question I have is, the media is not being allowed into the caucus this time around, but they were in 2012. If the access was allowed before, what's the reason for the change?
I don't even know that it was allowed before.
It was. In fact, on March 6, 2012, we were allowed access to multiple sites, from Ada to Canyon County, to observe and get reaction to Idaho being part of Super Tuesday for the first time.
If somebody's holding an election, you're not allowed inside the polling location where people are actually voting.
We are actually. It's something we do every election to show how the process works. But what Regan wrote at the end of his third paragraph may give us some insight. You said this is to prevent intimidation by bad actors, including members of the media.
Yeah, well, there's a fair bit of that. But I mean, the narrative that you guys are pushing that somehow this is being done in secret is complete baloney. You know, there are witnesses there. There are witnesses from the campaign. Anybody who's qualified to be in the room can watch. And the tabulation is done right out in the open in front of them.
Which, again, was how it was done in 2012.
Where each of the candidates will have a campaign rep.
The only people allowed inside are 4 staff members, an AP reporter.
Did you catch that? An AP reporter will be allowed to watch the tabulation. I think the question is like normally, again, in the past, members of the media are usually there to be able to observe the process, not how people are voting, but just the process. And that would lead to transparency.
What do you want me to say? The rules are the rules.
The rules are the rules. And this idea that this is a private ballot, a secret ballot. I mean, when you go to these caucuses, or at least back in 2012, there were people holding up signs telling you exactly who they were going to vote for. And we got video of it, and we talked to them. That, again, has changed. Then we got these responses yesterday. Melissa Davlin, who's with the Idaho Press Club, and Betsy Russell, former reporter who is part of the president of Idahoans for Openness in Government. They put out 2 statements, which are included on our website at ktvb.com, but they both question the transparency of this. Not a decision. These are rules, again, passed in January. But the question is, will they consider them or consider changing those rules? I asked Brent Regan that today, and he said, well, in order for that to happen, they'd have to call together all 255 members of the Central Committee to make that change to those rules. He doesn't think that's going to happen.